Hey TubeUbers, TJ Pyramid here. So I was just actually talking about this the other day with my buddy here on YouTube, Johnny Blues. The topic of video games turned into movies. And just so happens that in today's USA Today, Life Sunday, they have an article, Will a video game ever make a great movie? Now, and they show here Need for Speed. Okay, not a video game I would think about turning into a movie. They say Need for Speed had all the ingredients, but it sputtered fast. Well, yeah, it's a movie about fast cars. Yeah, hello, we got the Fast and Furious films, people, and we've had other films before that. So, this is not the type of video game I want to see turned into a movie. It's just, if I want to watch a movie about fast cars, I'll go to the good ones. I'll go to the Fast and the Furious films. They're fantastic. I don't need a second-rate, you know, franchise like that coming. It bombed. Good. Good because of what it was based on, but not good because yet another video game movie that has bombed at the box office. Now, you have the Resident Evil movies, Hitman, Prince of Persia, Silent Hill, and of course, the best one of the bunch of like the highest grossing ones are obviously like the Resident Evil, the Tomb Raider films, and review-wise, Prince of Persia got like some of the best reviews for a video game movie of any of them of the past few years. The Resident Evil movies always get shit upon, but I don't care. I love the Resident Evil films. Uh, I absolutely love the first Silent Hill film. I thought that was badass. The second one, not so good, but still, a relatively fun, well-done film. Uh, and me and Johnny were talking about like the old Mortal Kombat movies, with like a Goro who kind of looked like a mutated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle rubber suit thing. Not fantastic films, but still fun to watch. Uh, and we were discussing that how, yeah, I remember back when superhero movies would either come out and go straight to video, or they would come out and be out of the theater within a week or two. The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren, uh, what am I trying to think of? Captain America from like the early 90s or whatever it was. So there was a time where video game movies got shit upon and they didn't get no respect. And then someone in Hollywood, somewhere, who, when Hollywood does something right, I'm really surprised most of the time because so many studio bigwigs come in and have no idea the franchise or the thing that they're dealing with. They'll have no clue whether it's a video game, whether it's adapted from a comic book. I just don't think a lot of people in Hollywood have any idea half of the stuff that they're dealing with. The people that make the big decisions. So that's why a lot of that stuff gets messed up, I think, still today, and not just with that movie, any genre of film. If it's messed up, it's usually one of the higher ups that has something to do with it, most likely, because they just want to try to make it as pleasing as possible to bring in the most cash. Understandable, not always great films. So back to the video game thing. Um, it's getting the right people involved that have an idea or a passion for that certain franchise. It's like the people nowadays that are doing, like the Iron Man movies. Jon Favreau is a huge comic fan, Joss Whedon with the Avengers is a big comic fan. Even Zack Snyder is a big comic book fan. You get these people that know the source material, that know the part of the tell they want to tell, and sometimes they throw in some new stuff, which sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But with video game movies, I just don't think they've had the right combination of people that have had the passion for the actual franchise, whatever it may be. Of course, Paul W.S. Anderson does the Resident Evil films. I remember the first Resident Evil film coming out and reading an interview with him and him being a fan of the Resident Evil series. Now that obviously that series has strayed away from what the excuse me, of what the original games were. It's kind of taken its own path, brought in characters that weren't in the games and stuff. But I still think that's a really strong series. I know there's some people out there that completely hate the Resident Evil series. That boo hiss, boo hiss. I like them, but I just go back to when comic book movies were made and they were just shitty. They would come and go and they got crap reviews, and the only people seeing them were comic book fans. Now you have like a movie, Captain America or the Avengers or whatever, come out, and everybody goes to see it. It has that mass appeal beyond the comic book reader or comic book fan, whatever it may be. And I don't think that the video game movies have gotten that broader appeal yet. I don't think just your casual moviegoer is going to see the Resident Evil films or the Silent Hill films. Maybe your Fast and Furious fans are going to see the Need for Speed, but obviously not enough because that movie still tanked at the box office. Maybe someday there'll be the right alignment somewhere in this universe, and you'll have the right director, the right script. You'll have the right studio behind the film that actually believes in the film and isn't just trying to make it to get some more money out of the people. And then maybe you'll have that one special video game that just happens to be in the right spot at the right time. It'll come out and it will appeal to the mass crowd. And then maybe that'll trigger a chain of events to where each consecutive video game movie coming out will be successful, just like the comic book films. You've got to have that right mixture of everything for them to be successful. And even down the road, as much as I love the Resident Evil films, I wouldn't mind seeing Paul W.S. Anderson just saying like, okay, I'm done. This is the last RE film I'm doing. Let somebody else do it. Somebody else can come along, reboot it, recast Mila, do a totally different story, and hey, that might be the one film that takes off, and people are like, yeah, this is what I've been waiting for, and the mass crowd will be like, yeah, this is a really good film, even though it's based on a video game, it's really good. So, they mentioned some of the other movies coming out. You have an animated Angry Birds movie. Yeah, that's probably going to be successful because most animated films that come out are pretty damn successful nowadays, just because the younger crowd, the parents go see them, and then they appeal to the adults too who are fans of animation. So Angry Birds is probably going to be a hit, but yet again, that's not a movie I really care to see based on a video game. It's just too similar to other animated type films, the little characters and stuff. I've been there, I've done that, I've seen it. Not the type of thing I want them to pull from the video game world. And you have the Warcraft, of course, based on World of Warcraft, with Ben Foster and Dominique Cooper, which opens in 2016. Now, Warcraft, even though I'm not a fan of the game, that's the type of game or the type of video game franchise that I would like to see in movie form, because I think of like Lord of the Rings, and I think of the other movies that have like the sword and sorcery and stuff, and I've seen the monsters in World of Warcraft. They could be pretty damn incredible if it was done well and they were brought on screen the correct way. That could be a pretty kick-ass film, even though I have no interest in the video game franchise at all. But that could be a really cool action / fantasy film, I believe. And then, of course, you have Assassin's Creed, which comes out in 2015, like fall of 2015. And that's Michael Fassbender, who I enjoy. So, if that movie is done correctly, that could be the one movie that busts open the shell of the video game movies to the mass market, because it does have Michael Fassbender, and I think he's an actor who a lot of people look at nowadays and think, okay, you know, I like Michael Fassbender, I'm going to go see anything he's in. So it's just that the title of that article, will a video game ever make a great movie? To me, there's already been some really great video game movies. I do not like the title of this article. It just should have had a different title, and they should not have used Need for Speed for that one, you know, thing showing it there, the example. But will a video game ever make a great movie? Yes, because it's already been done, at least in my eyes and in my opinion. Will there ever be a video game movie that appeals to a huge mass market that opens and makes, like, you know, Captain America Winter Soldier type money? I don't know. I'm sure somewhere down the road, somebody has to get their shit straight, and everything has to align, and just, there has to be one film that comes out based on a video game that just blows the door off the cinemas. People are rushing to see it, not because they're fans of the video game, but because they're fans of that film. They just think it looks good. They just think it looks like a well-done film with a right casting, right director, and it's just a movie that brings excitement to the theater. That people, the word of mouth spreads, the buzz spreads, and people just want to go see it. They may not even know it's based on a video game. They just want to see it because of what it is. Now, anybody going to see a superhero movie based on a comic book, pretty sure they're going to know, yeah, Captain America. If you've never heard of the Captain America comic, you need to, you know, get out from under your rock. Pretty sure people know about the classic comic characters like that. Whether they go to see them for that or not, I don't know. I don't think so, because it's just too big of a crowd, too big of a box office, you know, for that. So I think the comic books have obviously cracked that shell, and they appeal to a mass audience. That's why everyone coming out gets such big hype, because they want that to be the next one. They want that to top, you know, Thor. They want that to top Captain America. So maybe years down the road, we'll get to that part where video game movies have that same respect by more than just the small fan base that the movie's based on. Maybe somewhere down the road, there will be that video game movie, like I said, that comes together perfectly, and everybody will want to see it, and that will cause the chain to be like, okay, this next movie is going to be huge. They'll start getting the hype, they'll start being the summer blockbusters, and things will start building from there. The right people will get the hands on the right franchises, they'll do the right things, and hopefully they'll be successful. But as to that article right there, there's already been great video game movies made, in my opinion. I just did not like the wording of that article. So there we go. I think I've probably rambled a bit and said some stuff I already said back at the beginning or in the middle, but I like to repeat myself. I like to drill it into people's brains about what I'm trying to get across. So there we go. There's my video. There's already been good video game movies. They just haven't broken the barrier yet, like the comic book ones will. But I have hope. But if they don't, hey, at least I can still buy them. I can still watch them. So there you go. I guess as long as I enjoy them, keep pumping them out. I'd like to see better quality stuff, you know, but hey, you take what you get. But I still think that someday they're going to break that glass ceiling, and they're going to be just like comic book based films. People are going to want to see them. So there we go. Leave some comments below. Do a video response to this. Let me know what you think about the current video game based movies, and how they've been shit upon, or what ones you enjoy, or why you hate certain ones. You know, everybody has an opinion. I'd like to hear it. So there we go. Subscribe to my channel. Spread the word. Thanks for watching. Now get your ass to your DVD player and go watch a movie based on a video game. Cheers.